It's Real Fit Radio with B
and j.lou.
If you're a first-time listener, welcome. And if you're a returning listener, welcome back.
Hello, people.
We could do our check-in. How you feeling?
I'm good. We just finished reading a pretty interesting book by Devon Franklin. I don't even have it in front of me.
It's the Hollywood Commandments.
Okay. Yeah. Outside of that, pretty productive week. I ain't gonna go into the gist of it. I'll be saying the same thing I say every week, Pinky. Trying to take over the world. So everything is good. Working out schedule was great. Got one book off the menu, and now I'm into another one. So I'm just trying to keep my mind refreshed with new information and experiences.
I'm feeling good. I enjoy our reading time. Our reading time is when we pick a book and we spend an hour usually before we turn in, and I read for 15 minutes. He reads for 15 minutes. I find that just taking in the information together, it makes good for conversation, maybe right after or something to talk about the following day. But yeah, I enjoy that, and I'm ready to tackle the next book because now we'll be reading one on our own, and then we have one we need to finish. The Truth About Me and the one that we started.
Right. Well, I don't necessarily know if you reading the other one on your own, the talking to yourself book.
I'm with it, however you want to do it. But yeah, I'm ready to get into it. I'm feeling good, you feeling good, and it's really different. This is being so transparent. It's one thing to enjoy doing something. When you create the structure and a schedule for it, it can feel forced sometimes. We don't come up with these topics a week in advance and have a book with our bullet points that we're going to make sure we cover. This is just straight off the rip. Like, we just do it right when we plug up the mics. You know, I may say a few minutes before, or I may say something to them in the earlier part of the day, like I'm contemplating maybe talking about this or that, or did you know what you wanted to talk about tonight? So it's just a little different because I just changed the topic probably 20 minutes ago.
Oh, so you're not talking about what we talked about an hour ago?
No, I'm gonna. Well, it was about 20 minutes ago. So as you can see,
it was more than an hour ago. It was
yeah,
about 3 hours ago.
Yeah, as you can see, yeah, it's really just raw. It's edited. It's just like we just do it. So that takes some getting used to because, again, it's not just like, oh, this is great. We should share these discussions with other people and hopefully it inspires or, impacts or empowers them. So it can feel a bit forced, but we march on. So today's topic, or what we're talking about, is the importance of positive influences in your life. I've been thinking about that a lot, especially because when we read together, and then even the books that you choose to read on your own, they're usually books of someone that you might admire their journey, or you may feel you want to gather some more insider understanding as to why they move the way they move. And the fact that you have access to those books, it's almost like the next best thing to a sit down. But once you get that information and you digest it and apply it how you see fit on your journey, I believe it makes a tremendous difference. I feel like in society right now, we lack a lot of positive influence, and that is the byproduct of what we're seeing now, because they're kids raising kids, or people just not having anybody that told them the right way, or not the right way, just gave them some options and they passed it down. Sometimes it's a every man for themselves type mentality. Nobody taught me, I had to figure it out, so I'm not about to, or I don't have time to be teaching you. And I just think that
maybe they still ain't got it together, and it's like, I don't even have it together myself, so how do I have time to give to you?
And I agree with that. It's unfortunate because positive influence is greatly needed, and you don't have to have a physical positive influence. It doesn't have to be someone right there. With the advancement of technology and you being able to tap into someone in a whole, another region out of the country and hear a speech, a TED Talk, a podcast, a book, a blog, all these different things, it's almost like now it just comes down to, do you really want access to new information that can assist you in being better? or give you some other tools and resources in your arsenal to do better. That's what we're talking about. And I'm going to throw it over to you because I gave my whole spiel. But what are your thoughts on the importance of positive influence in an individual's life? Or, is it really that important?
I believe that positive influence is huge. It's absolutely necessary. You always want to surround yourself with positive energy, because if you're surrounding yourself with negative energy, you're gonna assimilate what you're around. There's no way around it. I said around a lot. What I'm trying to say is it's important. You have to have it, because what you're around, that's what you assimilate. They always say this old adage, if you hang around with 5 knuckleheads, or whatever word they choose to use with that number 5, you will end up being number 6, or whatever number they choose. It's some truth behind that. It's no way you can be who you're set out to be, or be what you want to be, and then be surrounded by something that's completely opposite of that. You're going to start gravitating to whatever that's around you. So it's important for you to protect your mind if you can't protect your environment. If you're a kid or a young teenager who don't have the financial means to be out on your own, or you being in the teens, you're not an adult, so you couldn't do it anyways. You have to find different outlets. Being in the age of a young teenager myself, when there was not much technology there like it is today. All you really did have was people and books. So being in this day and age where you have the YouTube, the Instagram, and all that stuff, and I know we've had segments where we were discussing more or less the negative parts of it with a hint of positive things that comes with social media. We was touching more on the negative, but this time is more positive, like, because you can find several affirmations, all kinds of videos all over the net. All you got to do is type in the name, type in what it is you're looking for. For me personally, what I do is, because I'm in the music industry, I like to read books that, if they do have one out, by artists that I listen to, because sometimes you need to see the journey that they went through and the positive stuff that came through it, despite the fact that they've had some obstacles in their life. So I use that. I look at sports stuff, journeys of football players and things of that nature. Sometimes I may look at a public speaker or inspirational speaker, motivational speaker. For me personally, I don't need that type of positive input, because that's not what I'm looking for in terms of positivity and growth for myself. But it's different outlets for every individual according to what it is you're looking for. And just summing up what I'm saying, because I could possibly be going all over the places. It's definitely needed, because without it, I think your chances of having a goal-oriented mind would be harder to obtain being around somebody or some people, or just what you watch or anything like that. If you have that around it, it's going to make your journey that much difficult. So.
And when you were talking, I was listening to you, the different things that you mentioned that you watch, and the takeaway from it. Sometimes positive influence doesn't necessarily mean that you mirror what you see, or you need a role model in that sense, but it could be different things where you have more insight. You become more knowledgeable on something by having positive influence via person or material, or reading material, technology, videos. You may be encouraged on your journey from having positive influence. That's what I thought about when you were talking about the different books that you may read. If it's an artist that you like and they have a book out, reading their journey and the insight, the highs and lows of them pushing through to become who they are today, may give you a bit of inspiration, better understanding of something you're going through. So positive influence, it can be a lot of different things. And I think what one has to do is first decide and commit to having or wanting some sort of positive influence in their life so that they can grow. I think wisdom is attained through encounters, experience, reading, all different ways to attain knowledge. And then you have the option of implementing it. But some people, I don't even think they're even aligning themselves, when you said being goal oriented, with, hey, what's going on right now? This is not it. There's something in me that I have a understanding that I don't want the information, or this is not what I want to be, what I'm seeing around me or what I'm hanging around with. And once you kind of have that feeling, or you have an understanding of that, then you have to seek out what things you want to feed yourself. So it's kind of like, okay, you know what? I'm around, a lot of negativity. So I just want to start with some positivity. Let me start with getting some positive affirmations and just reaffirming who I am or the things I want in my life. You can access your local library and ask the librarian, I'm looking for a book that has like a lot of positive affirmations. They have a computer that can pull up everything. It's at their fingertips, and the resource desk there, the librarians that are there may have some suggestions for you too. But it can be as simple as that. And once you go from that, watering yourself in positivity, the next thing can be, okay, I think I want to, you said football. I like football. I want to build planes, or I'm into dance. Start to get books. Again, this doesn't even have to do with human to human contact, because I think sometimes when you think of positive influence, immediately you go to role model, mentor, and it's like, nobody's around, and I don't want to go join some club or some mentorship type program or nothing like that.
That sounds like me, and that's why I said the books that I pick, a lot of times I like them because the realism that's behind it is something that you could actually resonate with, where if you are in the situations that could happen to people, and a lot of times the negativity or the situation you're in, you feel like you're the only one that's going through it. And the reason why the books that's selected from, for me, or it may help you in this area as well, is when you see somebody, or reading something that somebody is talking about, and you be like, hey, that's exactly what I'm going through. And then you see the light at the end of the tunnel. It gives you that breath of fresh air to know that, number one, you're not the only person that was in a situation that was surrounded by negativity, and number two, they made it out despite the odds. So yeah, and that's all pertaining to the books you was talking about.
Well, pretty much those are resources, and I just think that it's really important to know you have options when it comes to watering yourself. And I'm real big on the each one teach one. As easily as we can identify an issue, or if you feel very strongly about an issue, also take the first step to assisting with coming with a solution or some sort of resolve. I'm not saying that you have to, if you don't have time, to go sign up and become a mentor, but you can make it a point to share wisdom, share your insight, share experience with others that you come in contact with, or be intentional. If you do want to give an hour a month, because that's not really a lot, 30 minutes a month, just make sure that you're putting yourself in a position to be a part of the solution if you feel strongly about something other than this. But specifically for this, as far as having positive influence, you can be or share what you know, or the insight or the wisdom you've just gathered throughout your life here, to assist somebody else have what may seem just unattainable, not even realistic in their world. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the importance of a positive influence. You have anything else to add?
Not really. I don't necessarily think that there's any more I can add.
How does one, I will ask you this because you have a unique situation and we don't have to go into all that, but how does one, and I did explain it, where for someone to first decide or identify, but what if somebody doesn't even, it's just like, this is it. There is no option for me. There's nothing. I just need to be a part of what I'm around. I do have the desire to do something else, but that's just not going to happen. I don't see that for myself. How can one, or like how I mentioned libraries or books, and if you just don't even want someone to see you in the library or see you with a book, or sometimes you get kind of put in a position where it's just like you get questioned about, what was you doing over there? How can one begin to feed themselves? And you said some stuff with technology. What would you suggest they do just from the phone that's in the palm of their hands when they're alone?
Well, first, if I'm someone that's in that position, I have to think about what makes me happy. What is it that, when I go to sleep at night, because even in rough neighborhoods, they have dreams of being somewhere else. I don't care who it is, no matter what situation you're in, you always have this place of nirvana that you think about either while you're asleep or right before you sleep, and you may have a conversation with somebody about it. First of all, you have to find out what that is. Once you find out what that is, you go look for it. Maybe it's a place, maybe it's a car, maybe it's a family that you never had. I start with something as small as that, and then I build on top of it. Go to Google search and type in happy family. It's 1,000 things that may come up. It may be a picture there with somebody that's laughing with the full family. You may end up getting an article about somebody writing about why your family is so happy. Whatever it is that you desire, I'm talking about specifically in this day and age because of the access to the web, the palm of your hand. You have that, so you just really have to start with the thought of what it is that makes you happy. That's the first thing, because if you don't know what that is, then I wouldn't be able to assist anyways. But once you know what that is, I would just start with that. And as you do that, you know how the cookies work in these things. Once you look at one thing, they start sending you more and sending you more. Before you look up, you don't even have to look for anything no more. Now they're flooding your phone with information that you looked up originally. So now it's all up to you to look at or discard what works for you, and then go from there and just build you a catalog of positivity. Then work on how you need to obtain it, or what's the steps to obtain whatever that happiness is that you're looking for, because that's obviously different for everybody. That's if you have no other option and you're by yourself. Like you feel like you're completely by yourself. And also asking God, just pray. Ask for guidance on, clearing your mind, clearing your thoughts, discard anything that's not regarding to my happiness or whatnot. I don't even know what my happiness is, God. I don't know what happiness is. I never even experienced it. I've never seen it before. But if you can clear my mind and show me vividly in my mind what that is, and I would do the rest. I would do my part to look that up. I should have said that was the first thing to do. The first thing is to seek counsel. I'm a spiritual man. I believe in God. So I'm telling you, I would pray, ask God for discernment, give me the vision that I need to see in order for me to get what I have in my spirit to come out. And so I can physically see that on a device, my computer, TV, whatever.
I can't say it any better than that. We both spiritual, so when you ask God, he starts sending people. Once you ask, you got to move forward with expectation. Know that it's coming. Wow. I knew you were going to finish on a good note. Look at you. Like, I wrapped that up. Bow on it. Done. Signed, sealed, and delivered.
Yeah, because sometimes it can be a lonely place. Sometimes you can't depend on somebody to come and give you that saving grace of positivity. It be like that sometimes, but you're not alone. You have to know that. And then secondly, you just have to ask for the guidance. He'll lead you where you're supposed to be. You just have to listen.
And again, if you're listening and you're like, that is not an issue for you, let's be intentional to maybe be the answer to somebody's prayers. Sometimes you can be the blessing. That's not just monetary, but somebody may be praying for you to be the positive influence or point them in the direction of the positive influence that they need in their lives. So, yeah, I like this. This was good. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggested topics, or you want to keep this conversation going, you can reach us at realfitradio@gmail.com. Our podcast drops every Monday. You can catch a snippet on our Instagram at realfitradio. If you're not following us, you should be. As always, I hope this inspired, impacted, or empowered someone. Until next time.